Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Got a match for you today in the Tier 8 Royal Navy Tech Tree Battleship line, and we're in Temeraire. This ship doesn't really exist in this current format. There was a Temeraire battleship. It was a Bellerophon class dreadnought built in 1907. So that's not this ship. The closest thing I can see on PC is the Duncan, which is a Tier 9 ship, but the Duncan has torpedo tubes and this ship does not. However, it does have 3x3 419s, which the Temeraire does, so I'm calling it a Duncan without torpedo tubes. We're here on Northern Waters. I switched the screen too quick to see if we're top tier or not. Real quickly looking at WoW's builds, damage record 229,131, XP record 3,631. The Sigma of Temeraire is 1.8, so comparatively to like Queen Elizabeth at 2.0, not as accurate. Fires per minute 1.99, arming threshold 69 millimeters for the armor piercing shells. The overmatch is 29 millimeters. And later on, I will have a stat comparison for you, if I can remember when. All right, we're spotted. Seeing as my entire team went left or to port, I am going left. And what the heck, we'll do the stat comparison right now. 14 ships at Tier 8. Hit points, Sovietsky Soyuz, number 1, 88,100. Temeraire, 13 out of 14. 67,900. The only ship that's lower is the Ruprecht. Firing range, Frederick de Gross, way above everybody else at 18.9. Temeraire 11th at 17, tied with the Ruprecht. AP DPM, Marlborough, 422,400. Huge drop off to the next ship, which is Minnesota. Temeraire kind of in the middle, 239. AA DPS number 1 is Maine, 669. Temeraire in the middle, 372. The lowest ship is Musashi, 142. Max speed Marco Polo, tied with Alsace at 32. Also the Ruprecht. Temeraire kind of on the lower side in 9th place, 29.5 knots. That is your stat comparison. Oh look, I shot at somebody and did some damage. Well, I must have shot more than once, actually. Sorry I did not commentate that, but I'm kind of trying to find a place here in this match where my entire team, except for one guy, went left. And we're kind of in the middle. And so I'm shooting at Awami right now. By the way, I will have an Awami match for you on Wednesday. So that'll be delightful. And then we'll have Monarch ranged build on Thursday. And then in the second week of the update, we'll start getting to the early access Italian destroyers, luck permitting, that I actually unlock any. So that's my plan for upcoming stuff. And I don't know what else I'll do. Maybe we'll have to see. But definitely Awami tomorrow, and definitely Monarch ranged build on Thursday, and then definitely Italian destroyers after that. All right, shooting at a broadside Yamato. That is going to become a refrain there. There's a Citadel hit. We're up around 40,000 damage. And can we get more shots at Yamato? And no, he is going behind an island. So we can't. And I'm just frantically looking around for a target, because I don't want to go any farther forward. As you can see, I just switched to full reverse. I'm intending to hit this island to help myself back up. So yeah, I didn't really... I don't think the Temeraire is particularly strong. I prefer the Vanguard over the Temeraire. Although I would say I prefer the Queen Elizabeth over the Vanguard. and probably the Iron Duke over this ship as well. So, in terms of the strongest ship for this English line, I would say it's probably Queen Elizabeth. That's just my opinion. Then I'd go Vanguard, then Iron Duke, then maybe this thing, then the Tier 3. I'd put the King George last simply because the Citadel is just so high out of the water. I've never really had a bunch of good games in the King George. Anyway, we are continuing to fire at this broadside Yamato. Trying to go a little bit higher on this salvo. That may have not been a good idea. But we do a bunch of good damage nonetheless. Maybe those could have been Citadels if I had gone for the armor belt. I don't know enough to know, but I'm intending to just keep shooting as long as this person continues to sail broadside and ignore me. He is hanging on an edge now. He looks like he's turning away a little bit. So we are going to continue aiming up into the side, and there is another Citadel hit and our first kill in the Temeraire. And by staying where I was at, I largely managed to avoid this big pack of red ships over here. But now I'm like, well, look, I got a kill, so let's turn around and put our bow towards the enemy, and maybe I can get some shots at a Wami or another Yamato. And I hate to say this match is going to make it seem like your success in Temeraire is largely based on if you can get a Yamato in your match or not, or two. But let's be honest, I got a lot of damage thanks to Yamato. Alright, we're using a heal. We only have another heal left. I don't know. I could see an argument being made for the survivability commander, Charles Madden, on this ship. It is not what I chose because of the accuracy being so poor. By staying behind the island here, we managed to avoid some torpedoes. However, our salvo against Yamato did no damage really whatsoever. But we're in a safe space, and I'm going to continue to reload and stay out of the way of the Awamis and the Worcester over there, which just got taken out. And as you can see, the enemy team is starting to kick the ass of our team. So it will probably only be a matter of time. I'm getting shot from the rear, and I'm not going to move, and I'm going to hopefully do more damage. Alright, well, I am going to move forward. Hopefully I can do some more damage to Yamato to make this thing seem much more overpowered than it really is. So you've got some greater heals or maybe some super heals on board. I would encourage you to use those. Obviously, if you use the survivability commander, Mr. Madden, you're going to have a reduced main battery range. However, you'll have more super heals. So maybe that might be the way to go here. A couple more Citadel hits on that Yamato and really punished him. I can't believe a full health Yamato's like, oh yeah, let's just ram into him. I mean, why? You can just shoot him. He's broadside to you. But he doesn't do any of that. Alright, we're turning to avoid torpedoes. I have no idea what our Yamato is doing. But we are going to aim again here at the enemy Yamato. There's another double salvo. Triple hit to Citadel. And we took him out. Got a Shima over here into the island. And we got the Awami over here. We're turning to get our turret on the Awami. Can we get our heal in time? Probably not. There's one salvo. Turret gets knocked out. We do engage our heal, but it does not help us. But anyway, as our team loses, yeah, we're going to fast forward and go back into the port. Alright, trust me when I say only token resistance was offered by that last ship. Alright, getting a couple milestones. Here we are on the defeat screen. 151,381 total damage. We did shoot down an airplane, a couple of kills, 7 hits to the Citadel, and a couple of cap defended flags. We ended up with 275,270 silver and 1866 ship XP and commander XP. We did end up at the top of the board, 1244 base XP, 2 big kills. It's a high damage game. I remember very well in the past I asked, do do you want to see a high XP game or a high damage game? And everybody said high XP game. And it was a really boring match in like the Minsk or something like that. So that ended rather quickly. So I gave you the high damage game instead. And yeah, the base XP left a lot to be desired. My team left a lot to be desired. All right, here in the port, taking a look at the upgrades. Aiming System Mod 1. Damage Control System Mod 2. Concealment System Mod 1. AA Guns Mod 3. And the ship is fully upgraded. Taking a look at the loadout. 2 charges of, I'll call it a greater heal, 1,086 hit points per second. 4 charges of the spotter plane, which you need because the ship has bad accuracy. I wouldn't trust the catapult fighter, DFAA, not enough carriers at this level yet. Just one man's opinion about these consumable choices. I would stick with the catapult fighter simply because you need the accuracy. So yeah, regardless of what I'm doing on the screen, I would stick with the spotter plane, pardon me. All right, Epic Battle Booster, I guess I glossed over the fact I also have 3 charges of the secondary battery consumable. Doesn't really do a whole lot. Don't have a permanent camo yet, and 2-year strong flag on the battleship. All right, 900 hit points and a 25% torpedo damage reduction for our build. You got those 3x3 419mm turrets, 19.7 kilometer firing range, 28.3 second reload, 34.6 second turn time. HE shells 7,200 max damage with a 48% fire chance. AP shells 13,000 max damage. 8 twin 134 secondaries, firing range 5.2 kilometers, 6.7 second reload. HE shells 1,900 max damage with an 8% fire chance. The secondaries are largely unchanged up the top tiers of this battleship line. All right, moving on to the AA defense. You can see your secondaries are dual purpose and do count as AA. Your best AA is the 40mm Bofors Mark 6 in a 10x6 arrangement that does 365 damage per second. So that is pretty nice, and that is why I built into the AA with that last mod slot. Maneuverability, 30.4 knots, 830-meter turning circle, 16.6 second rudder shift time. Concealment, 13.8 on the surface, 11.3 from the air, 14.7 when firing in smoke. Just as a reminder, the camo I'm mounting has no camo value. All right. Best game in the ship, well, that was it, damage-wise and kill-wise and everything else-wise. Not really syncing up with the Temeraire here, so your mileage may vary. I would be interested to hear if you guys are using the survivability commander or not. All right, taking a look at the armor viewer. Well, it's not terrible, but it's not great. At and a little bit above the waterline Citadel. We will put the bow back on. You do have a very below the water belt, for a little bit anyway, but it's a 32mm bow. The small belt down there isn't going to really do a whole lot, but it does go up to 305mm. Moving on to the torpedo protection, 38mm down to the keel. And your turrets and barbettes are not especially heavily armored, nor are they sloped. So these suckers will get knocked out all day long, in my opinion. I can't imagine why I'm still talking about how terrible these are. There's some casemate armor. You can see you got a below water armor belt up to 381 there. And it does come above the waterline. That is the rather unimpressive armor profile of the Temeraire. Here is our commander, fully maxed out, Andrew Cunningham. You know, maybe Madden's a better choice. We got D. Revell and Azur Lane, New Jersey. Cunningham's base trait increases shell grouping. And we went with Flammable Cannoneer. Crisscross, so we didn't nerf our own speed. Marksmanship. Reaching out XXL. and fight fire with fire. Hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. If you did, hit that like button. See you in the rest of the videos this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe for more slightly above average ship reviews.